Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. This time we're taking a look at Breaking the Chain, a short story by Kathy Burke.
Oh, yeah. I know this one.
It's all about this guy, Juan Antes Dios Rodriguez, a farmer who's given this idea of the good light.
Right, the good light.
Yeah, like health,
Weird.
wealth, all that good stuff.
Like a cheat code for life almost.
Yeah, exactly. But there's a catch.
Oh, there's always a catch, Raul.
Always a catch.
Especially when it comes to the good light.
Especially when it comes to the good light and alcohol, which is how Juan Antes is introduced to it.
Right.
He's not much of a drinker, but one night he goes for it. And
wouldn't you know it?
wouldn't you know it, a mysterious voice pops up,
Uh-oh.
tells him about this bag on the hill of sand in a very specific time, promises treasure. Like a mystical scavenger hunt.
It's a classic setup.
Classic setup.
Gets you every time.
Only throws Juan Antes' world upside down.
Yeah, the simple farmer suddenly thrust into this supernatural world.
Exactly. And this voice, it doesn't just offer up riches, it also gives him a mandate, too.
An order he feels compelled to follow.
Yeah.
It's like free will goes right out the window. When the good light calls, you gotta answer.
Exactly. And the stuff he finds in the bag.
Oh, yeah. Talk about creepy.
Pretty unsettling, right? A man's bones, a machete, gold, coins, a bottle of whiskey, and this metal box.
What box?
With the mandate tucked away inside.
Talk about symbolism overload.
Right. What do you think? Is Burke just trying to freak us out, or are those clues?
It's got to be both, right? I mean, think about it. The objects themselves are spooky.
Oh, for sure.
Almost theatrical in their brutality.
Yeah.
But you look closer and you see the gold, which is the wealth, and the machete, which is the potential for violence.
Oh, right.
And then the bones, the stark reminder of death.
Mortality.
Yeah, exactly. Like Burke's laying out the stakes of Juan Antes' choice.
Yeah, the choice he has to make.
Which is a doozy.
And it's a doozy. Murder.
Just like that.
This guy, Prudencio Salvatierra.
Out of the blue.
Totally out of the blue and totally brutal.
Which is awful.
Juan Antes, of course, ends up in prison.
Yeah.
Leaves his wife, Cardinala, to figure things out on her own. What about her, though? How does she handle all this?
Oh, she's fascinating. At first, she's all in on the treasure.
Oh, yeah.
Pushing Juan Antes to do what the voice says, dreaming of escaping their poverty.
Typical, right?
Yeah. But once he's locked up, she changes her tune.
Oh, really? How so?
Starts blaming it all on the evil light, like it's the devil's work.
Oh, wow.
It's almost as if she's trying to protect herself from the consequences.
Yeah, distancing herself.
Exactly.
And there's that part where she gets a new gold tooth.
Oh, right.
Paid for by her boss.
Like a symbol of your new life, right?
Yeah, maybe even a new relationship.
Oh, could be.
That gold tooth seems pretty symbolic.
Oh, absolutely. It's a total contrast to Juan Antes rotting away in prison.
Stripped of everything.
While she's embracing material wealth. You could even say it represents her moral decay.
Oh, interesting.
Like she's traded loyalty for a chance at a better life and left Juan Antes to deal with the mess they created together.
Wow. So Juan Antes is stuck with the guilt and the memory of that voice.
And the realization that Cardinal has moved on.
Yeah. A harsh wake-up call.
Definitely a wake-up call for him.
And maybe for us, too.
Oh, for sure. For us as readers, too. It's a reminder that these quick solutions, especially the ones that promise escape, they can have consequences.
Yeah.
Unintended consequences.
Painful consequences.
Yeah.
So we've got this guy betrayed by the good light, abandoned by his wife, wrestling with what he's done. This is where things get even more interesting, but we'll have to pick that up after a quick break.
It's kind of interesting, though, how Juan Antes doesn't just, give up.
Yeah. He wants out of this mess.
Yeah, he's looking for a way out of this cycle of violence and guilt.
Which is where Tata Guamachito comes in, right? Juan Antes turns to him for guidance. This wise old man, Tata Guamachito.
And he's definitely seen it all, hasn't he?
Oh, yeah, he gets it.
Yeah.
He understands that pull of the evil light and the danger that comes with it.
Because he was caught in it himself when he was younger.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And this is where the story gets really deep. Tata Guamachito explains how violence, it becomes this cycle.
Like a chain.
Yeah, exactly like a chain.
Yeah.
Each mandate is another link, and they just keep binding people to the evil light generation after generation.
And it makes you wonder, can it ever be broken?
Right. It's a huge question. Juan Antes killed because he was told to.
To break free, he'd have to create a new mandate.
Which would continue the cycle.
But he doesn't want more bloodshed.
Nope, he wants out completely.
So what's he supposed to do?
Well, Tata Guamachito, being the wise guy that he is, he offers a solution.
Okay.
Tells Juan Antes to write his own mandate in his own words and sign it himself.
Huh.
Like he's encouraging him to take control.
Oh, so he's not just passing on the burden.
Yeah, he's taking ownership of it.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
And then there's that scene where they see this shadowy writer taking the bag with the new mandate.
Oh, yeah. So much suspense.
It's like watching this silent exchange, this cycle continuing, but with a twist.
And we don't know what the new mandate says.
Right. It's such a mystery. Why do you think Bert keeps us in the dark like that?
I think it's brilliant.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it makes us really think about Juan Antes' choice. Did he break the chain or did he just pass it on to someone else?
Oh, wow. So we're left with this feeling of hope and doubt.
Exactly.
And that makes his confession to Tata Guamarachito so powerful.
Oh, yeah. At first, he doesn't want to say anything.
Keeps us on the edge of our seats.
Right. But eventually, he tells him. It really emphasizes the themes of forgiveness and breaking free from these patterns. What do you think about Juan Antes' decision to tell him?
I think it shows how much he's grown.
Right.
He's not just thinking about himself anymore.
He wants guidance. He knows his actions have weight, and maybe he's hoping for some forgiveness. It's like a step towards healing for him, but for the whole cycle too. And there's that detail about Juan Antes starting to appreciate the sunrise.
Oh, yeah, like a symbol of his freedom from the evil light.
Yeah, and his rejection of Cardinala's influence too.
Like a fresh start.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's this reminder that even after all that darkness, there's always the possibility of finding light in new places.
So are we finally going to find out about the secret mandate?
The moment of truth?
Remember those pieces of Cardinala's picture he kept?
Yeah.
His mandate tells the writer to tear up a picture of someone with an untrue heart.
Wow. So powerful.
Right.
It connects directly to his own experience. Tearing up Cardinala's picture was the first step to breaking free from her. His mandate is like helping someone else do the same thing. But is tearing up a picture enough to really break the chain?
And Tata Guamarachito's reaction.
Those tears of joy.
It's like he sees some hope in what Juan Antes has done.
Yeah, like there's a chance to end the violence and find peace.
It's a beautiful ending, but also kind of sad.
Bittersweet. But it still leaves us with this mystery.
Yeah, we're left wondering, did Juan Antes actually break the chain or just change it?
It's up to us to decide. And that's what makes it so captivating.
So we've gone deep into this world of mandates and the evil light and the desire for something more.
We've seen the consequences of looking for easy answers and the fight to break free from these patterns.
We've seen that even when things are bad, change is always possible.
Making choices that bring us closer to the light.
That's a powerful message, don't you think?
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. So we've been with Juan Antes through this whole journey with these mandates and this evil light and this desire for something better.
Yeah.
But what can we take away from it all? What can we learn from breaking the chain? What do you think?
Well, I think it really shows how much our desires, especially the ones for easy solutions and escapes from suffering, how they can lead us down paths we never meant to go down.
Yeah, Juan Antes is a perfect example of that with his pursuit of the good light.
Exactly.
It's a good reminder that the things that promise happiness, they can actually cause us pain.
Right.
And it's not just about money or possessions either.
It's about wanting to skip over the hard parts of life.
Yeah, wanting that shortcut to fulfillment.
Yeah.
And then there's the violence.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
it keeps happening over and over.
It's like a cycle.
Yeah.
The mandates, each one leads to another act of violence, and it just creates this chain.
That binds generations together.
Exactly.
It makes you wonder if it can ever really be broken.
It's a scary thought, isn't it?
Yeah, like a curse.
But then there's Juan Antes.
Right.
He messes up. He gives into the evil light, but then he decides to do something different.
He wants to break the chain.
Even if it means dealing with the uncertainty of his actions.
It's not a simple victory, is it?
Not really. No.
We're still left wondering if his new mandate really stops the violence or if it just changes things a little bit.
But that's what makes it so interesting to think about.
Yeah, it makes us think about free will and how the choices we make have consequences.
Exactly.
And that's what makes breaking the chain so powerful.
It doesn't give us easy answers.
Right.
It leaves us with these tough questions.
Questions that go beyond the story itself.
Right. It makes us think about the evil lights in our own lives.
Oh, yeah, like what?
Those things that promise us instant satisfaction, those shortcuts that actually end up hurting us more than helping us.
I see what you mean.
What are the patterns we repeat, the chains we create without even realizing it?
Yeah.
And how can we, like Juan Antes, break free from them?
How can we make choices that lead to real healing and change?
Exactly.
That's a great question to think about.
It is.
What will it take for you to break the chains in your own life?
Yeah.
Maybe it's about recognizing those harmful patterns,
Right.
those quick fixes that lead you down the wrong path.
Or finding the courage to forgive yourself and others, to acknowledge your mistakes and choose a new direction.
And maybe it's about accepting that breaking free won't be easy.
Right.
It might mean facing uncertainty and trusting that even when things are tough, there's still hope for something better.
Just like that sunrise that Juan Antes comes to love.
So this deep dive into breaking the chain, it's been quite a journey.
It has.
We've talked about guilt and redemption, the desire for quick fixes, the struggle to escape the things that hold us back.
Yeah.
But we've also seen that even in darkness, there's always a possibility for change.
A chance to make choices that bring us closer to the light.
That's a powerful message to remember.
It is.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah, thanks for listening.